I think relatively easy. It'll be a nice way to get back into the week without it being too crazy. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is start solving equations. So these are warm-ups. Start solving equations with distributive property. I'm pretty sure that you guys have already done this. Yeah. So that makes it easy. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times negative 4b is negative 32b. Subtract 48 from both sides. It's at negative 160. Oh man, I'm on fire. Any questions about number 19? Me likey. Okay, number 21, this one has two distributive properties. And we have to be really careful here because we're just distributing the negative. So think of it like negative 1. 3 times n is 3n. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 7n, be really careful, is positive 7n. Okay, then I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to combine those two guys. Ah, whole number answer so satisfying. Anyone have any questions about either of these two? How I did anything, where I got anything from? You sure? Okay. We are not using anything else in the packet today, but don't put it away because I need to stamp some stuff when we're done here. So I need to stamp, I'm gonna stamp this, 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 and this when we're done. The zombies thing, the mid-chapter, and today's notes. Today's notes are only 3 problems, so it's not bad. Okay, and we're gonna start with that. Does it help to know that I just put up all my turkey decorations yesterday? I have so many turkeys. While you guys are setting up your notebook, you could think to yourself, how many Squishmallow turkeys does Mrs. Talbot have? Six or seven? It's only four, actually. It might be five. Okay, see what happened was, while you're setting up your notebook, there's this one large Squishmallow turkey that we have affectionately nicknamed Gobblito. The Gobblito is loved and adored by my two children. My two children being ages 22 and 24. When I say children, I don't really mean children. It's just that they love Gobblito so very much. And I unpacked all of the Thanksgiving decorations this weekend and put away the Halloween one. And Gobblito is nowhere to be found.
No,
One of my two adult children has taken Gobblito because they did not want me to pack him away for the whole year, and so now I have to find him. And they're both not answering my text messages, which isn't unusual because they're 22 and 24 and they don't answer my text messages, but they're definitely avoiding the subject of Gobblito. So I'll keep you posted on when and where I find Gobblito, but you know, I'm pretty sure there's been some turkey napping. Anyway, okay. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to work on what we worked on in the warm-ups, which is distributing inside of an equation. But we're also going to look at what happens when you have to do a box in an equation. So thinking about what boxes look like again, because I don't want to forget about that. This first problem, number 107A, what size box do I need for this? 2 by 2, which is our usual size. That's probably the most common, I would say. Okay. That looks pretty good for Monday morning. What is 6x times 2x? 12x squared. Don't forget that squared. Otherwise, you're going to combine way too many things in here. What's 2x times negative 11? Negative 22x. Don't forget the negative. 6x times 5. 30x. And then 5 times negative 11. Negative 55. Okay, and we have like terms on the diagonal. Okay, so just a reminder of how to do this. Area is a product is length times width, which is really just the original problem with the parentheses. And then area as a sum is the sum of the parts, which is 12x squared, 8x's after I combine those two together, and negative 55 ones. Okay, how confident do you feel in this particular topic? Pretty good? I'm getting the sense that everyone feels pretty good about it. Okay, now for B, you can choose. You can choose to distribute, or you can choose to do a box. This would be a 1x2 box. I like to distribute. It's up to you, really, what you prefer. But I want to be really careful here about the exponents. So my goal in this problem, what I noticed when we were doing the scavenger hunt, is we were having some confusion about how many of each thing there was and whether or not we could combine them. Okay, so when we distribute, we multiply this. So this is negative 2 times 15 is negative 30. And then just like exponent rules, you add the exponents. So this is 2 plus 2 is x to the fourth. What do you think an x to the fourth tile would even look like? I can picture an x cubed tile. It's like a cube. But to the fourth, I don't know. My brain doesn't do that. Okay. Now, negative 2x squared times negative 3y. So we'll go in steps. Negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 3 is 6. There's 2 x's and 1 y. And that's it. So my question is, can I add those two things together? Are those like terms? No. And because I'm lazy, the laziest of the lazy, I can just put the original problem as the product, length times width, and the answer as a sum. So those are basically the things we're working on right now, boxes and distributing, and also recognizing when to combine and when not to combine. Okay, we're going to take this skill and take it one step further into solving equations like we did in the warm-ups. So for number 108, go ahead and set up 108 if you haven't already. Yes, I wrote the same problem twice. I realize that. I did it on purpose. I want to talk about the fact that you don't have to distribute. And I have to be honest, when I look at both of these problems, my first instinct is to distribute. So we're going to distribute on one of them. What would the next line be if I distribute the 4? 4x plus 12. Great. I think 9 times out of 10, students will see a problem like this, just automatically distribute. Like that's just what their gut is to do. But you don't actually have to distribute. There's another way to solve this problem. Does anybody know what it is? Will it help if I tell you that it also starts with D? Divide. Thank you. Instead of distributing, what we can do is undo the multiplication of 4 in the front. What operation undoes multiplication? Division. Same answer, smaller numbers. Again, that tool is there for you. I don't know how often you're going to use it because everyone just distributes, including me. So I'm not judging. I'm just saying, don't forget dividing is an option. Okay. That was a whole problem. Wasn't that great? I loved it. Okay, now we're going to get into spicy. Prepare yourself for spiciness. Okay, everybody. So now we're taking our skill of boxes and distributive property, and we're taking it one step further, and I put it into an equation to solve, just like the one we had in our warm-up. So again, I took a box or distributive property and I put it into an equation. What I need you to do is to be able to look at those parentheses and in your mind, like a thing goes off and like, boop, boop, I need a box. Can you guys look at number 113A and tell that you need a box? That's important. Okay. This implies box. What size? 2 by 2. Okay, so just come over to the side. I've given you lots of room over here. Okay, 5x squared, 5x 6x and 6 like terms. Are you guys with me so far? Okay, now this side, I didn't do anything to this side, so that side stays 5x squared plus 39. And then over here, I'm going to put the area as a sum. 5x squared plus 11x plus 6. Do you see where these numbers came from? Okay, now you guys have probably never had an equation with an x squared in it that you could not square root. Do you see how these match? These will match in every single one of your problems in Math 1. They will not match in Math 2. In Math 2, you're going to learn a way to undo this, but for this year, you will be able to subtract that from both sides and just get rid of it. So if you're doing a problem and these two don't match, that means you did something wrong. Okay, we have one more problem and then we're done already. But we need to go slow on this guy. I made this one super spicy. Okay. Now, this I noticed people were having trouble with in the scavenger hunt. You cannot just square those things. You have to write it twice. And now you see it needs a 2 by 2 box. If you don't do that, you're going to miss the X term in the middle and it won't come out correctly. Okay, now on this side, do you guys see the distributive property? You do? Okay, so on this side, we're going to say x squared negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative x is positive 3x. Okay, now over here, I'm going to do my 2 by 2 box. Yeah, I just want to make sure I pause here. You guys see where these numbers came from? You see where the x squared plus 6x plus 9 came from? And do you see that if I did this incorrectly and just squared instead of doing the box, the 6x would be missing and I get the wrong answer. You see what I mean? You can't cheat. You can't just do x squared plus 9. It won't work because you'll be missing the 6x term and you'll get the wrong answer. So you have to multiply it out. Okay. What do I do next? Notice these match. Minus